Hey guys, it's Gale Riot here, back with the 5-9 crew and on the 5-9 channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 25th anniversary for Pokemon. We've just got official news that they have officially started their year of celebration for their 25th anniversary with, of course, a Pikachu wallpaper. We'll put it up on screen for you guys to see, of course. Today with me, I have Hydros. Say hello.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
We have Gotcha Talks.
What's going on, everybody? It's great to be here. Excited to be talking about this celebration.
And last but not the least, Clerk Bear.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so just to start off, of course, we have done another similar video on the Zelda 35th anniversary as well, and this year seems to be, or well, the next year, it's still not 2021. Net 2021 seems to be a heavy year of a lot of anniversaries. We know Zelda's 35th anniversary is 2021, Pokemon's 25th, and of course, Persona's also getting their 25th anniversary. So, to start us off with, of course, we know that, of course, we've seen how Nintendo's handled the 35th anniversary for Super Mario Bros. You know, we had the collection, we had the port for New Super Mario World, and so on and so forth. And we kind of made an assumption that the 35th anniversary for Zelda will be the same. Do you think the Pokemon Company will go down a similar route in terms of doing a collection, doing something along the lines of a potential porting of a game, potentially? Or do you guys think they'll just do the same old stuff, maybe a new RPG or new mainline title, a couple of spin-offs, maybe do some collaborations with other Nintendo titles like Super Smash Brothers? Or do you think they'll actually do what Super Smash Brothers did, have a collection and, actually celebrate it wildly? We'll start off with you, Hydros. Oh, no, gotcha, go ahead.
So I would just like if they just ported over everything from the 3DS, because they had the first two gens on 3DS already. I think that would just be, like, to me, that would be perfect just to throw that on Switch, because they came out, it's unfortunate that, those titles came out on 3DS pretty late into the game. At that point, 3DS was kind of like going down already, and everybody, I think that was like kind of like when the Switch came out. I would just like if they just re-released, the 6 titles that they have on the 3DS on the Switch, and I would be happy with that type of. And they don't have to make it a collection. They could if they want, but I would just be down for them to put them on.
Definitely, I think that would be an interesting way to go about it. I wasn't thinking about the 3DS titles that much, to be honest, and especially because we kind of know the limitations we've seen as well. If you've ever played the 3DS titles, there have been some hardware issues in terms of the fact that the 3DS couldn't necessarily cope up with, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon specifically. So seeing them being ported over, maybe we'll be able to see them in their finest details. It will be interesting to see how they port over, obviously, the dual screen into the Switch. But who knows? They might be able to pull it off. What about you, Hydros? Any thoughts on what they could do?
I would like to see probably starting off getting into the Game Boy Advance games, as they did the virtual consoles for what they did up to Crystal, right? So maybe start off by getting, like, maybe it's do a Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald type of deal, since they did the first and second generations. Maybe do the third generation. Maybe DS games. I don't see them doing 3DS games right now. Because, people still own a 3DS, they still play it, obviously, but they don't make it, but they still play it. But I can see maybe DS games maybe getting an overhaul and seeing them take the touchscreen and do something else with it if they need to, or even if that, take the Switch tablet and vertically rotate it and then play that way.
Yeah.
But that'd be pretty fun.
Just to chime in, I was talking about the red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal ones, not like X and Y.
Oh, you meant the virtual console games?
Yeah, virtual console. That was all I was referring to. No, I don't
Okay.
think they would ever bring X and Y to Switch, but I think they could do virtual console is what I meant. Sorry, I should have explained that.
Yeah, I thought for a second, like Sun and Moon, I was like, yeah, they could.
Technically
they could.
Just virtual
it's not
console,
impossible for them.
Console.
No, I think that's a good idea. But also, I was thinking of the DS, and especially for let's say Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum for the Pokédex, you could literally just make it like a bottom corner, and you can make it like a touchscreen thing where you touch it on the Switch as well, and it just pops up onto the main screen, the Pokédex instead, and then you can just hide it again or something like that. There's multiple ways they could go about it, honestly, especially for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. What about you, Clerk Bear? Any thoughts?
I kind of echo with Hydros here. Like, I want them to bring the Gen 3 games, Ruby and Sapphire over. But I do think they'll, unfortunately, bring red and blue and yellow, green, all those back first, because I think that's how they're going to want to introduce the Game Boy side of the Nintendo Switch Online service, because they already got the NES, SNES.
Yeah,
and I think that's how they start to
true.
branch that out some more, is by bringing in those
yeah,
original titles.
Hey, that's a
And
good
granted,
point.
we have them on the 3DS. I hope they skip through them fast so we can maybe get Ruby and Sapphire on there.
mm-hmm.
I don't expect we will, but that's my hope. And
Oh
then
no, 100%.
I hope they have a moment that was as monumental as like Pokemon Go was this year, or back in 2016.
Mhm.
So that's my big hope, is that we have a uniting thing again, especially after like how the world's been recently. It'd be kind of a good way to recover. So hopefully that's what they got down the pipeline. That's what I'm wishing for.
For sure. I mean, speaking of Pokemon Go and what they could do for 2021, we know some titles coming out in 2021 so far. We have Pokemon Unite, which is, I think, confirmed for Feb. I'm not entirely sure. I've been seeing people say it's literally confirmed for Feb. So that's their MOBA game coming out, of course. Something that we didn't expect to, ever release. Pokemon MOBA, you wouldn't think it. But here we are, 2021, Feb. It's coming. We have the remake, or I'd say it's more of a remake than a sequel. I feel, because it's not Snap 2, it's Pokemon Snap. That's how it's called. So
Yeah.
we're getting Pokemon Snap. We're getting the sequel, however, to Detective Pikachu 2, which we know obviously they're kind of bouncing off the success of the film, which did really well. Probably one of the better video game adaptations we've had in recent times. That and probably Sonic. So that's getting a sequel, and we know that there is a mainline title coming out in 2021, but we'll talk about that later on. What do you guys think about the spin-offs coming out? Now, we know Pokemon Go, obviously, like Clerk mentioned, like, we won that big moment. Do you think any of these games will have that big moment? Like, people are suggesting, Pokemon Unite might be their big moment, especially for entering the Chinese market, but obviously for us in the West, we are not all of us are big fans of MOBAs. It's a much smaller demographic that enjoys, a much more niche demographic that enjoys Pokemon Unite. So, do you think any of these games, including Unite, will pop off, or do you think it's just gonna be your average year of like random Pokemon spin-offs?
I think it might be average.
I don't know. Depending on how they handle Unite, Unite could eventually be a big thing. I mean, it is handled by Tencent,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, I don't know how
See,
Tencent will handle it, and it feels like they could they could drown it in microtransactions if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But just the playstyle of overall Pokemon Unite just feels it. I don't know. It's a cool idea and it's a cool concept, but I kind of really always wanted something like a MOBA. But
Mhm.
seeing it now from Tencent kind of makes me like,
See, I
What?
feel like that's gonna be the biggest coin flip of this year for them, because that game could either be terrible or amazing. Of course, I hope it's amazing. I hope that they do well with it. But it's just such a weird idea that I'm just so unsure about it. I really want it to take off. And then talking about like Pokemon Snap, I'm excited for that one because it just looks good.
Yeah.
I think it is gonna be exactly what it's supposed to be, which is a calming, chill experience, in the Pokemon world. And so I think that'll be good too. I don't think it'll be nearly as big as Pokemon Go, but
Mhm.
I think it'll be fun at least.
Yeah, I think Snap will be one of those cinematic games, or like it's for the scenery. Like, we've seen it, and everybody was like so happy with like how the Pokemon looked, how the graphics looked. After the how people.
Bandai involved with that one?
Yes, Bandai is the one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure publishing it. I don't think they're developing it. I can
Okay.
double check, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones developing it. But no, I echo what you guys have said pretty much as well in terms of Pokemon Unite. I feel like it's a potentially huge market for them to enter in. Especially they could do something competitive with it. Of course, they have their TCG, they have Pokken, they have of course the mainline titles that they have for competition. So Unite can be there, but again, like Hydro said, they could easily drown it in microtransactions, which could be a problem. Okay, so
Yeah.
the developers are Bandai Namco, publishers are obviously the Pokemon Company and Nintendo themselves.
hey,
Um,
Pretty
hey,
excited for
now we
Snap.
can get Bandai collabs since they developed this game.
Dragon Ball X Pokemon coming soon.
Bet.
Yeah, I honestly think Snap is gonna be like, everybody's gonna fall for that nostalgia factor because everybody's been begging for a Pokemon
Oh,
Snap
for
game.
sure.
So people are gonna love that game. I think it's gonna be one of those big titles, but I don't think it'll be like next level. I think people still prefer some other titles, like they would have preferred other like spin-offs maybe, like obviously the heavily requested XD and Coliseum sequels slash remakes, or
or even Ranger, you know.
Rangers, Explorers of Sky and Time, you
People
know.
like Ranger.
Oh,
Hey
people
man,
love Rangers.
I loved it a lot.
I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think it's one of those games that I wouldn't mind seeing being remade or a new one being made. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
I definitely don't think it's like a top seller though. I think still, if you had to go for a new spin-off title that would like generate hype, it would probably be something like an XD Coliseum remake,
Yeah, Coliseum.
or an Explorers of Sky, Time Darkness Sky remake, or a completely new, fresh take on Mystery Dungeon. It's one of those.
XD Gale of Darkness would be hard because the developers aren't around, so they can't get the rights to that anymore.
Yes, that's a huge problem for sure. But yeah, no,
And
I
then
definitely agree.
And then it's,
go ahead.
they could eventually bring back Battle Revolution from the Wii.
Ooh, yeah.
That could
Do that,
That's a,
or the Poke Park games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something they could make. The Pokepark games definitely are one of those games that definitely go under the radar quite a lot, even though they were pretty interesting, to say the least. You know, obviously they were on the Wii. You know, this was when they were trying to still push stuff on the Wii, but didn't necessarily always work. But it was pretty solid. But yeah, no, I think it's for me personally, I'm not excited. Like mentioned, it's an average lineup, I feel. For me personally, you guys in the comments can let us know what you think of Snap, Unite, and of course, Detective Pikachu 2. Speaking of Detective Pikachu 2, are you guys interested in it? Did you guys play the first one? Anyways,
I didn't play the first one.
Hydros, gotcha.
No, not very interested, and I did not play the
I
first
enjoyed
one
the movie.
either. Movie was
Yeah.
good. Movie was actually very fun. I definitely liked that, but no, I never played the game.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I never played the game. I just watched the movie as well. Hydros, did you play the game?
Sorry,
ever?
which game was it?
Detective Pikachu.
Oh no, I did play the 3DS game. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It's pretty fun. So I'm kind of interested to see what the second one's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll get the second one?
Yeah, I'll probably get it. If you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know if it was so good that you just blindly buy the second one.
I usually buy Pokemon games, obviously for collection as well. But yeah, I'll probably try it out. I mean, I tried the first one. I thought it was pretty fun. I played the whole way through. So I'll definitely play and try out the second one. Hopefully that it's just as good or maybe even better, especially because it's gonna be on the Switch, right? So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. I think it's overall it's good. I'm not a big fan of it though. As mentioned, you know, I would have loved a new Mystery Dungeon, especially with the success of or relative success of Mystery Dungeon DX, albeit it was placed in a terrible time slot. Of course, releasing
yeah.
along the likes of Animal Crossing. You know, it released alongside Persona 5 Royale, Final Fantasy 7. So, you know, it could have been dealt with better, but you know, it still did a relatively good job. It had a good amount of sales and stuff, well received. So that'll be a video on itself. We'll come on to that in a second. We will be making a video separately for spin-offs in general. But yeah, now we move on to the main one, the mainline title. What do you guys think? Will it be a new title? Will it be a remake? Will it be something else? Will it be an enhanced version randomly, even though they said they don't want to do enhanced versions? Do you think they might? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I know
So
everyone's
from-
wanting Diamond Pearl.
Yeah,
I know that's what
exactly.
everyone wants.
Yeah.
But I think we need to stop trying to assume that's next every single year.
I'm about to
No.
say, I feel like everyone's gonna assume that they're getting Diamond Pearl remakes this year, and then out of nowhere you're gonna get Let's Go Johto. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
down.
that's
I'm
funny
down for
that you
Johto.
say that.
I'll
funny that you
say
guys say
this.
that. But remember that one leaker that Gale that we made that video on. He mentioned that they don't have any more plans for Let's Go. Remember
Yeah,
when we-
that's the thing. That's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
things we mentioned in the Diamond and Pearl remake video. For those of you who haven't seen it, we mentioned that Kelios FR, one of a very reputable Nintendo insider, he's predicted a lot of Nintendo Directs accurately. He's mentioned that there is a remake next year and that they have abandoned that Let's Go title entirely. They said they will pick up elements from Let's Go, but the whole idea of Let's Go is abandoned, which I think is kind of sad. I do think Let's Go was a solid game for at least that one
Yeah.
play experience, enjoyable, and probably one of the better shiny hunting experiences if you're interested in that. And just in general, it was a good experience overall. I don't think it was a terrible experience like I initially thought it was going to be. Going in with very low expectations, it was ended up being somewhat decent. But the fact that he's basically confirmed that we're gonna get a remake next year, I mean, everything is pointing towards Diamond and Pearl. I personally think it is gonna be Diamond and Pearl. I mean, it's also half of me is being very, very optimistic in that as well. That hopeful part of me. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, and this is going to be a bit off topic, but of course, they have announced they're doing something on the 31st of December at midnight. From the International Space Station. Everybody took, and I don't think they're gonna announce anything there. I'm pretty sure from what I've read on an article, they're doing it alongside some other companies like Coca-Cola and stuff, and they're doing some AR stuff. But I love the amount of people that just took with it and made it like, oh, it's space and time, and it's Diamond and Pearl. I highly doubt that. I mean, we'll get an announcement, I think, in Feb, but I'm leaning towards the more side of it's gonna be a remake, I think, for sure. We know that they've canned the idea of enhanced versions, and it's obviously too soon for a new generation. We kind of expect that. The question is, what remake now? I definitely do think it's more likely that it'll be Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum that'll be getting a remake. But I have to admit, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Johto. I mean, Johto is one of the more it's one of the more loved generations. People love Lugia, Ho, the legendary beast. The starters are well
Following
received,
Pokemon.
apart from Meganium. Oh, sorry, what?
Following Pokemon, the thing that everyone always wants back is the following
Yeah.
Pokemon.
And then it
Yeah.
was also the thing of you getting two maps in one game. You get Johto and you
Mhm.
get Kanto. So
Yeah, it definitely tug at people's heartstrings, especially with the whole, as you said, Kanto and Johto, two of the OG regions as well. So I definitely do think there's a very high chance to kind of get to that, get to people, as well as, the fact that it's two regions in one and two of the original regions. They could easily go for Johto rather than Diamond and Pearl. And who knows, they at Game Freak might not be like, we don't want to do Diamond and Pearl remakes anymore, or we don't want to do them at all. I highly doubt that, but who knows. But yeah, I definitely do think it's definitely going to be a remake. Do you guys think remake?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's too soon for a new gen. I mean, we did this finish off with the DLC for Sword and Shield, so I think it's a good break for them to throw out a remake. I'm sure it's not as many resources to make a remake than a new generation, so they definitely deserve to just kind of chill a little bit. I will like Diamond and Pearl remakes, but I could also see what you're saying about second gen, because sometimes they might be thinking about money, and obviously second gen will make them a lot. But I think everybody wants Diamond and Pearl. I think the hype already is there, so I think it's a good idea of doing that. And then in terms of another remake that I do want to see is actually the second set of Mystery Dungeon games, just to throw that in there. Because the first one was pretty good, but I would be pretty interested for them to continue that on.
Yeah, I'd love an Explorers of Time and Darkness DX version.
yeah.
That would be absolutely adored.
The story and
But aren't they
those
talking about
were
a main
amazing.
series though? So that wouldn't
Yeah, that's
be-
the thing.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I was just
yeah.
throwing that in there. I was just throwing it in there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if there's something random that could come, it probably might be that.
Yeah.
I definitely do think it'll be a main title, though. It's pretty much
Yeah,
expected. to be a
of
main
course,
title.
of course. It's going to be either Diamond or Pearl or, like you mentioned, I think second gen.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember is with X and Y. I remember them going out of their way to saying we don't want to be predictable. That's why Z never happened. So they went ahead and did
Yeah.
the Oras, and then they did Sun and Moon after. They specifically said they didn't want to be that predictable to then do a third version again.
Yeah.
If that still holds true, that's why I wouldn't expect Diamond Pearl, because that's what everybody's expecting. That's what everybody's predicting. And if they don't want to be predictable, that's what they will do. So
Yeah.
Johto would be a good alternative. That's obviously they're one of their biggest moneymakers also.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd love to see Diamond Pearl, but screw Diamond and Pearl. I want to see Platinum.
whoa.
I mean,
I
yeah,
want
no, I
Platinum.
agree.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
I
know
agree
what?
with that. I
I'm
agree with
definitely
that.
expecting, if they do platinum, I'm definitely expecting them to have like a distortion episode or something where it's
I want to
effectively
see the
Nintendo.
distortion world.
Oh,
That's what I
I'd be real
want.
shocked if they did the remakes and then didn't do distortion as well.
yeah. I'm interested to see how they do that. And funnily enough, the one thing that I'm very interested in seeing, and this is somebody mentioned this in the Diamond and Pearl remake video that we had done in the comments. I want to see how they make that statue of Palkia and Dialga and how it'll actually look like in Eterna City. If you guys remember that one, where it's like a
Yeah, I do.
it's like a fusion of Dialga and Palkia, and it looks really weird. I want to see how that looks like in actuality if they do decide to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, okay. So I think we've kind of made a consensus remakes for sure. It's just a question of Sinnoh or Johto and Kanto, one of the two. Um,
Mhm.
all right, so now this is gonna be a bit weird. Of course, I don't know how many of you guys play the other Nintendo titles like Super Smash Bros., Splatoon, and stuff like that. This is gonna be a bit of an odd one. Do you guys think they'll try and do anything with those games? Do you guys expect as
Oh, for
Ultimate
sure.
to get like a Cinderace or something as DLC, or do you guys expect something in Platoon or Super Mario Maker 2, or like how Super Mario Maker 2 has Zelda or Link, sorry, not Zelda, Link in the game with the Master Sword? Do you think something from Pokemon will come in there? We know that they like doing stuff with the Tetris 99 game anyways, with like how they did with Sword and Shield, like they had the whole theme. So they might probably do something for Tetris 99. But do you expect it to affect any other Nintendo game?
I mean, my
don't-
hope for
yeah, go ahead.
Smash at least is, they'll probably get an event board for the spirits. I don't know if anybody still uses those, but they still come out with those, so I'm sure they'll get that.
Mhm.
And then I'd love to see someone like Urshifu or Cinderace get in a Smash. I know people get tired of seeing too many reps from the same game, but I mean, I'd love it. And then of course, I definitely see them doing stuff with Mario Maker and Tetris 99. I'm trying to think if there's any like crazy ones they could do, but I think those are for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Hydros and Gotcha? Any input for that?
Not really. Honestly,
I could see them doing maybe something with Smash. I
I just I
don't
can't
know
think
about
of it.
anything else.
Yeah,
Like, what are they
Yeah.
gonna do? Like, when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, what are they gonna do? Put a Pokemon trainer outfit in Breath of the Wild or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah,
I'd be down. I'd be down.
fair-
I'd play with it.
to be fair, didn't they do something with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Breath of the Wild originally, if I recall correctly?
Oh, they did, yeah. and
I
Breath of the
think they
Wild
did something like
Xenoblade
that.
Mission.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, that would be dope to see Link in a Pokemon trainer outfit. Now that would be something else. But yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our thoughts on what will happen with other Nintendo games with Pokemon. We move on to what is one of the last major points. Of course, is we spoke a bit about the collection. We insinuated, of course, they could be dropping red, blue, yellow. We Hydros mentioned yellow, ruby, sapphire, and emerald. Do you guys think they'll do an actual collection? Like how Mario did the Super Mario 64, Sunshine Galaxy, and of course the original Mario Bros. 1, 2, and the Lost Levels. They had those two separate collections.
yeah.
We talked about Zelda having a potential collection. Do you guys think Pokemon will do one as well, where they'll have potentially the Game Boy games and the Game Boy Advance games in one, and maybe the DS titles together in one, and they'll throw it on and be like, here you go?
So I'm gonna say no. Just to start off with it, the only reason why it's because I think Nintendo probably could capitalize more money when everything's separate in the eShop,
Exactly.
and I think that's ultimately why they've never done something like that. It's because they could make more money that way. Because there's always gonna be people who want all three games. There's always gonna be people who want every single version of a Pokemon game, and they want those people to continuously be buying it. Unless they unless they do like a 3 collection only. Like a 3 game collection, they put like, they charge you $60 for it or some crazy nonsense like that. Is the only thing I could see them doing for them to like make money off it. If they do something like that, yeah, I could imagine them putting 3 games together and putting a $60 price tag on it, which I don't think is very fair. But obviously, it's Nintendo, or them just not doing it at all.
I
See,
agree.
my hope is if they do a collection like that, it's not of the main series games, because I don't think they would anyways. Like Gotcha's saying, I think they'll spread it out and they'll get their money for each title from me, of course. But I hope they do a collection of like either Mystery Dungeon, Ranger, one of those spin-off series.
That
I
would
think they
like
more easily get away with just like not remastering, but just giving you the old version. I think that's the more likely thing to happen.
Yeah, that I like. I like that. especially for like the
Hydros?
Mystery Dungeons games.
If they,
Hydros?
I do expect
Yeah.
them to do it single, like every game single. We buy each one.
Mm-hmm.
If they do
Yeah.
do a pack, quote unquote, it'd probably be like how you have the Sword and Shield dual pack. It's literally just the same. It's the two games prices put together, so you're still paying the same
Yep.
amount. So it'd
Might
probably be
save,
the
like,
same. It'd be the
$3.
same way like that. Yeah, maybe at $3, maybe you get a few more points. Hey,
Yeah.
but yeah,
The one thing
be
I
about the
will
same,
add
I
on top
expect
of
it.
that, yeah, no, the one thing I will definitely add on to what you guys said in terms of like they'll make it separate. There's another reason why they would make it separate, and that's probably because of Pokemon Bank and Home. Uh,
Very true.
if it's on the Switch, you don't necessarily need the premium plan for Pokemon Home or Bank anymore. You could literally just transfer it to like your free plan of Pokemon Home, put it in there, shift it over to your Sword and Shield copy, and boom, there's your new Pokemon. That kind of invalidates Pokemon Home and Bank, so they'll probably keep it separate or probably not release it whatsoever. Maybe they might just do it on the Virtual Console, or kind of like a Virtual Console or a Game Boy Advanced Online, how they have the SNES and NES Online, like you guys mentioned. Um, but yeah, I think that's one of the big reasons why I think they will not do it, because that just invalidates Home and Bank, I feel, or Bank more so than Home. And they want to keep Bank as much as alive as they can for at least until the end of this, probably the end of this generation, I'd say.
I
So,
don't think they care about Bank in terms of the older games and like 3DS and onward. Yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
I think Bank is they don't care.
I
They'll
think
they'll
they've
do the Virtual
expected most
Console. They
people to-
yeah.
yeah, I think,
yeah, I think
well,
they've
yeah,
expected
now
everyone to move it on by now.
I think no. Well, I think at this point, yeah, I'd say maybe they care more about Home. But I think at the start when Home just launched, I think they still cared about Bank, especially because I mean, people would have to like transfer their Pokemon from like OG titles to then the 3DS, and then from 3DS to put it in Bank to, well, no, yeah, no, from they put it into Bank from their 3DS, then 3DS to Home, basically is what I was saying. Obviously now I think everybody hopefully has transferred all their Pokemon over that they had in their previous titles. So yeah, I guess now probably not so much, but yeah, that's our thoughts on what they could do with the collection. Obviously there are obviously stuff they would do, maybe not do. Obviously at the end of the day, you have to also remember that that's Nintendo's style of doing it. They did it a different way. The Pokemon company is probably going to have final say in how everything goes, and who knows, they might have a different take on how they want to go about it. They might not do the same as the collection, but they might see also how Nintendo did with the Mario Bros collection and be like, oh, that's cool, we'll follow that kind of thing. But we'll wrap up. Before we wrap up, actually, you know what? Let's go over our fondest memories in the last 25 years. We'll start with Hydros. What's your fondest memory of Pokemon?
Man, I remember going to the store with my dad, going and getting my very first Game Boy, wasn't the Game Boy Color, it was the very first Game Boy ever. Getting Pokemon Blue, and that being my very first Pokemon game. That's probably my most favorite memory. Basically, starting, cheesy saying, but starting my journey as a Pokemon trainer. Right there.
100%,
Right there,
man.
Pokemon Blue.
100%.
Yeah, I have a very similar story, but mine was on Christmas. My dad bought me the Game Boy, and then he forgot to buy games for it because he didn't know you had to buy games. So we had that, and then we went to Walmart and we bought Pokemon Blue because been a big blast boy. I've always picked water types every single generation since I was like, when I got that I was like 4.
Amen,
So
brother.
yeah. So ever since then, that's definitely a memory that I'll always remember for sure.
The moist boys right here.
There you go.
Clerk, what about you?
Yeah, I have the same memories of getting my first Game Boy and getting Pokemon Blue. So I'll pick another one. The when Pokemon Go like officially came out, and I had people I didn't even know who liked Pokemon from my school, my town, hitting me up to go do raids. That was just wild to me. I think that was such a monumental moment for
Yeah.
the world, Pokemon,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gaming in general. So that holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, that summer 2016 is unforgettable. I mean, I personally didn't have any Pokemon stops near me, so it was it was a bit more difficult, but hey.
Oh, me too. I went for a drive.
Going for walks in the morning, meeting friends later on, potentially walking around just doing raids and stuff, or gym battles more so. Back then there weren't that many raids. There weren't raids at all.
Yeah,
in
I guess
2016.
it was gym battles back
Gym
then.
battles, yeah. It was gym battles catching your, trying to get the Pokedex completed and stuff like that. What a classic time. No, I definitely agree. I think my fondest memory is probably. I think, obviously I also started off. I didn't start off with Pokemon Blue like these guys. I started with Pokemon. I think it was Ruby. I started off with. I started with Gen 3. Funnily enough, it's not probably. It is in my top 3 gens, but not my overall favorite gen. But I definitely do think, I think my fondest memory is probably going for the first spin-off title, and I think Mystery Dungeon. Being a Pokemon was a completely different experience, and the story that came along with it, and being able to explore more than just the main titles, I think that was the start of it. I think definitely. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below what are your fondest memories of Pokemon as well. It will be truly appreciated. But I think that's where we'll wrap it up. Let us know also what you guys think will come for the 25th anniversary, your thoughts, your expectations, all that jazz. Of course, we didn't necessarily cover also the TCG side and all that jazz, so you guys can talk a bit about it as well in the comment section. But it's been Gale, it's been Hydros, it's been Gotcha Talks, it's been Clerk Bear. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and go on all our socials down below in the description. Follow us all on all our socials for sure. It's time to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys later.